Hello, Algebra 1 students. So today we're going to look at how to solve rational equations, basically fraction equations. And this is day 1 when you only have 2 fractions available for you to do. What you're going to want to have on, you're going to want to have your notes, pen or pencil, and of course you're going to want a calculator today. So basically, you guys have learned how to cross multiply. It's when we had 2 proportions, remember? We multiplied across, and then we could solve it. So same thing goes for this one. We're going to multiply diagonally and multiply diagonally, okay? So 3 times x plus 2. So I'm going to get 3x plus 6, right? Distribute that 3 in. And then 9 times x is just 9x. Well, now we actually have to solve for x. So now it becomes just like a problem we were doing at the beginning of the year. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. And I'll get 6 equals 9x minus 3x is 6x. Get x alone, divide by 6. I'm going to get x equals 1. Now, you are going to want to make sure that the denominators with your x do not make 0, because then it doesn't work out. So if I plug in a 1 here, I'm still going to have just 1, so that's okay. And I'm going to have a 3 there, so we're good there. That's what this check is for. You can get extraneous solutions. So be very, very careful again. Let's make sure we check the denominators, okay? Let's try another one. So notice on this one, I'm going to multiply across again, just like we did last time. Got a little bit more meat to this one because we have x minus 3 and x plus 2. So I'm going to multiply the 3 in, so I'm going to get 6x plus 3 times 4, which is 12. Now I need to multiply my x's together. So I'm going to have x minus 3 and x plus 2, okay? Multiply that in, multiply that in. So I'm going to have x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 6. So if I combine some like terms, I'm going to have x squared minus x minus 6, right? So now let's get everybody to one side. So I'm going to subtract 6x and subtract 12. Get 0 over here, so x squared minus 7x minus 18. Now you're probably thinking, oh goodness, I bet we have to factor. We do. A lot of these will end up in factoring. So my AC is negative 18, right? So two numbers that multiply to give you 18, but add together to give you negative 7. I think that would be a negative 9 and a positive 2, right? So I rewrite my inside here. Okay. I'll get x squared, negative 9x, positive 2x, and a negative 18. X, negative 9, positive 2. So 0 equals x minus 9, x plus 2. So if I would set those both equal to 0, x minus 9 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0, I get x equals 9, or x equals negative 2. Check to make sure they work in there. So if I plug in a 9, I'm going to get 11 down here. I'm also going to get 22, something like that. So 9 works. We're good there. What about negative 2? Negative 2 plus 2. Uh-oh. I got a 0 over there. Can't be negative 2. So you're always going to want to check. I implore you, please make sure you check every single time you do a problem of this nature, okay? Always check the denominators, because the denominators are going to be what's going to cause you issues. Last problem. Oops. Alright, multiply across. So I'm going to get 4x plus 20, right? Then we're going to multiply these guys across. X minus 1 times x plus 1. Distribute x squared plus x. Multiply negative x minus 1. So I'm going to get x squared minus 1, right? Because my x's are going to cancel off. Let's move everybody to the right side. Everyone's gone over here. I'm left with 0. So x squared minus 4x minus 21. So two numbers multiplied to give you 21, but add together to give you negative 4. What multiplies to give us negative 21? 7 and 3, so one of them needs to be negative and one of them needs to be positive. So I'm thinking a negative 7 plus 3 will give me a negative 4. So let's rewrite that inside here. And then box. So I'll have x squared minus 7x, a positive 3x, and a negative 21. So I got an x, a negative 7, and a 3. It looks like x minus 7, x plus 3. So if I set those both equal to 0 and solve, I will get x equals 7 and x equals negative 3. Let's check. Do they work in the bottom? 7 plus 1, that's good. 7 plus 5, that's good. Negative 3 plus 1, again, negative 2. That's fine, just can't have 0. Negative 3 plus 5, that's a negative 2 as well. They both work. And that's the end of this video. This is Miss Marsh, signing off.